Today I'm going to demonstrate our tune-in activity and explain a little bit about how it might proceed. Today I'm going to focus on foreign money, and this will sort of lead into how other countries may live, their lifestyles and the choices they make. So if you don't have any money, any foreign currencies, not to worry, you can find some online and print them out, although I do recommend the real deal. It sort of works better effect. If you can't, if you don't have any, then you can simply go and ask somebody who may have some. I actually asked my mum, who had a few of them, and she happily lent them to me. So we'll get into the structure of our setup and what you might be able to do. So if we come over here, camera person, first of all, we can have set up in continents. So obviously here we've got Australia and Fiji, so it's an Oceania region. And over here we've got the countries of Asia. I've actually just set up in these plastic pockets numerous currencies from Asia, as you can see. And you can just get students to investigate and report back what currencies they found. So like what country they found and what it might be called. So for example, in Thailand it's called baht, and I would come back and showcase that to the class. And this one's just the Middle East. So that's one way we might be able to do it. Sort of set out in continents. Set it there. As I said, there's one way you can do it. Another way I've done it in an actual class activity was we've got this bench here with like conference, all the kids. So you have the kids in front of you, and then you'd have your money, which you would highlight as very special and very precious. So you're only allowed to touch a little bit at a time. So for example, you would say, you would show them like this. G'day kids, this is a euro. It's found in multiple countries. This has been in many people's hands. Let's have a feel. And you would ask them multiple questions, and they might have multiple questions themselves. So for example, they might notice that this is made out of paper. A lot of these students these days won't even know that money back in the day was made out of paper. And so you can explain why it was first made out of money and what it's made out of now. So one good point to make is that the $1 bill from America is normally a pretty popular one because it's normally seen in movies and TV shows. And it's also called a dollar. And strange enough, kids might have this misconception that we can use this dollar in Australia when in fact you cannot. And also, it's also good to look at different things on the notes. As you can see, there's George Washington there, and you can sort of investigate why he might be on the note. So the great thing about this tune-in activity is it's up for interpretation, and you can modify it in any way you want. So for example, I know that we said that we're looking at foreign currencies, which you can still do, but you can also look back on Australia's history of notes, as you can see here. So these were actual old notes of Australia, which included $1 and $2, which kids these days wouldn't really know about. And you can sort of showcase and compare how the modern day notes look, and like who's on there that's changed as well, and kids can go off and investigate when these notes changed over, reasons why we changed to from paper, and they can sort of report back on that sort of stuff. The other thing too, we've got many ideas. As I said, you can focus on the history of Australia. You can focus on who's on the notes, even in foreign countries, and report back. and get students to return with the lost notes. So I've only got $1 bill, America. Can you come back and report to me what other notes the American currency has? And students could be asked to buy items from different countries, for example. And this is another point, a strategy you can use when you're teaching the kids is your personal experiences. So over in Thailand, I went to buy a car once, and it was $1 million for just an average car. And I said that to the kids, and the kids went, "Whoa, wow!" And now I'm just amazed. So if you share your personal experiences, they'll remember it a lot better. And so the other element to this tune-in activity is the questions, or the questioning. So the teacher would pose many questions about the notes to the students. For example, why we use notes rather than all coins, and why do we change notes over a period of time. And then you're going to get some questions from the kids that may stump you. For example, when we're looking at these older notes, a kid might ask, "Why? Can you actually use these notes in exchange for goods?" And so, your $1 and $2 notes you might be able to use, but I'm not quite sure about the $10 note. And so that's an opportunity for the teacher to ask the students to go and investigate and inquire themselves whether you can actually use these notes in modern day. The other question that you might get is why do we have different currencies? Why different countries have different coins, looking coins and notes? That's also a good question students might ask that you can get them to investigate and inquire and report back and to the whole class.